Hello, hello, Dixie Belle Paint Fans. How are you today? I am trying to get this camera set up. And of course, because you're on a tripod, it's going to be difficult, but we have got it ready. We have got you started. Okay, so what are we doing today? Well, my parents were in town visiting, and my mom brought me this little, what do you call this? Lazy Susan? Lazy Susan, right? So it spins around, you put it on your table, put your salt and pepper, all the things on there, and she's like, can you please paint this for me? So my job today is to get this ready for paint. So there's a couple of things I'm gonna need, and I'm gonna just grab my paper towels off the floor. And if you hear noise, I have two puppy dogs in here, so they will be listening, probably eating themselves and being noisy in the background. So what do we do before we start any project? And I really don't care what kind of paint you use. I mean, I personally use Dixie Belle paint products, but if you have a choice to use something else, then you need to always do something before you begin. Do you know what it is? This, cleaning your projects. So what is White Lightning? White Lightning is a TSP-based cleaner. It used to come in a small little container that you could use as a powder base. Let's see if I have one over here to show you. I do not, because I am, oh, I do, because I like this better. So White Lightning is a TSP powder based product. This is an old one, okay? It comes in a little 8-ounce jar, powder in there. All you need to do is disperse it into water, put it in a spray bottle, but they've made your job even easier. You can actually find this now coming to you straight to your door like this, okay? It's gonna come in this bottle pre-mixed, all ready to go, and you cannot get easier than that. So why do I do this on everything? Because it's super important to remove any gross things that might be on your furniture or wood projects or tiny little Lazy Susan projects just like this. This was on my mom's table, right? So there could be grease, there could be oil, there could be anything on there. You never actually know. So until you clean it well with White Lightning, really get in there, rub it around, make sure you're going to remove any of the residue that might be left on a piece. Even if it looks clean, it usually is not clean. I mean, hello, look, that looked clean to me. So after you clean it with White Lightning, you're going to want to rinse it with water. I have a bottle of water. I'm going to grab it and we're going to spray this off and rinse it real quick. Just by rinsing your TSP based cleaner, just making sure that there's nothing left on your project that is going to get in the way of the paint job that you're going to do. Okay, so what else do you see on this little thing, this little Lazy Susan? Do you see anything else on here that may make you think you might need to do something before you just hop in with your paint? This looks like pine to me, and I also see a stain over here. Whenever you're dealing with any kind of wood that could possibly have bleed through, it could have problems with, you know, those tannins coming through the wood, you're going to need a little extra step in your prep. Okay, and when I talk about prep, proper prep for paint, I actually have a back to basic series of videos here on YouTube that you can check out to learn everything that you need to do before you get started. Because if you don't do these special steps, you are going to get in trouble because what's going to happen is you're going to paint your entire project and tannins could bleed through, and then you're going to cry and you'll be sad. So what do you do and what do you use in order to block those tannins from bleeding through onto your project? Bonding Boss. Bonding Boss is Dixie Belle's answer to any stains, tannins, possible bleed through, anything that could come through from your wood or leach out and get through your paint. So this is Bonding Boss. It comes in clear, white, and gray. I don't care which one you use, just use one. I really think that it's something that people really need to get in the habit of using. And let me tell you a little secret about Bonding Boss now. Bonding Boss, this is my favorite one, the gray. Bonding Boss also contains an adhesion primer. There's an adhesion primer inside of this product. So that means if this was plastic or metal and you put this on, you're going to be able to come in here and make sure that your paint is going to stick and stick well. I have painted metal, Formica, plastic, anything that you think your paint might not stick to, it's a great idea to use Bonding Boss. I'm going to tell you something else about Bonding Boss. I don't like to use my good brushes when I use Bonding Boss. And when I say good brushes, I mean my well-loved brushes. I have brushes that are synthetic, brushes that are natural. These are the brushes that I use for painting. I find that using a smooth synthetic brush for paint is always the way to go. This is the kind of brush that's going to give you a great paint job and really get your projects looking 100%. But this, my friends, shouldn't really be washed down your drain. I'm going to be using a throwaway synthetic chip brush. This is a 2-inch synthetic chip brush. And let me tell you, this is some smooth action right here. This is a lot different than, say, your regular chip brush that you might use that's in natural fiber. Can you see how rough this is, right? It's not going to give you a smooth finish. I use these brushes, these brushes that are natural fiber for my terra clay paint, or for texture, or for, you know, maybe something I don't need a smooth finish for. But for this project, where I'm going to be applying this Bonding Boss to this little Lazy Susan, I'm going to use my chip brush. So this, when I'm done, because it's inexpensive, I'm either going to put it in water and then blot it off to be reused again, because I'm going to do 2 coats, waiting 2 hours before I apply my second coat. And then when I'm done doing my second coat, I could just throw it in the garbage. Goodbye. Then I don't have to clean it. I don't have to worry about Bonding Boss going down my drain. I don't want to cause a problem. My husband already has me painting in the house, y'all. He doesn't need me having plumbing issues on top of everything. All right, so let's get to it. So Bonding Boss is your gripping primer for anything slick or shiny. It goes on the same as you would be using, say, a regular paint. You're just going to smooth it on. I don't care if you go this way or this way or this way. I personally want this piece to be smooth. If you felt the need, you could come in after you apply your 2 even coats of Bonding Boss and waiting 24 hours before you paint. You could come in and do a slight sand just to really smooth it out. But this stuff is fairly thin. You're not going to find that it sits too heavy. You can see it in the jar. It's kind of drippy. So getting in here and just applying my first even coat to the entire thing, I'm going to block any possible stains, block any bleed through, and allow this little project to get ready for paint. So why do I have to wait 24 hours before I paint, you ask? Because waiting 24 hours before you paint is the essential product instruction list. Because remember, this contains an adhesion primer. That adhesion primer needs to get to work. And if you didn't wait, it's not going to cure hard enough, and then you are going to not get your strength that you want. When you put this on a project and you paint over top, there's no need to sand. If you see me doing this on a dresser, it's because I either don't want to do the sanding because I'm lazy and tired, or I just want to cover the wood and know my paint is going to stick. Maybe I rebuilt a project and I've got 3 different kinds of wood on there and I need to have them all absorb paint the same way. Because you know, different styles of wood absorb paint in different ways. So next time you have a project like this little pine Lazy Susan that had stains on it that you're looking to paint and you're not sure, like, I know this is going to get some heavy use, right? It's going to sit on my mom's table. So I want to be 100% sure that my paint is going to grip and adhere and do what it's supposed to. So you're going to check out Bonding Boss. You can always shop from any video in the description. I will have this linked in there as well. This is a Dixie Belle paint product. You can get it in this larger size, or you can also get it in the 16-ounce size. I use this a lot. Handy dandy tip of the day, wipe off your edges, because if you put down your lid on top of this and you have a lot of product around your lid is going to stick like crazy, because remember, there's an adhesion primer in here. I've had to take a hammer to my jars before because of the fact that I didn't clean off my lid before I put it on. So don't do that. That's my handy tip of the day. Hope you had fun hanging out with me for a quick little 10-minute live. I'm going to try and pop in here a little bit more often to do these lives. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My name is Melissa. I'm the owner and artist here at the Top Drawer RVA, located in Richmond, Virginia. And I am always up to something, and I'd love to be able to share it with you. So take care, y'all. I will see you later.